Hi, I'm Dr. Doris and you are so welcome. Emotional intelligence. Isn't the word by itself already ringing a bell? I'm curious, are you aware of overthinking or worry? Do you know that things can bring you really down? And are you aware that from time to time you think that any of your stresses are coming from the outside or coming from others? Or you think it's the situation, it is something outside. But deep down you know it is inside of you. Deep down you know that it is about you and how you respond to things. Emotional intelligence will help you to become more aware of your emotions. We say that 80% of emotions are either not identified or incorrectly identified. For example, you think you have a problem with feeling down or sad, but we may find out that really at the core of things is anger, and you need to find ways how to release your anger. Or the other way around, you may think, oh, I get so easily frustrated and I have to work on my angriness. But then with emotional intelligence, we can find out that deep down there may be any event from the past that has not been solved, or maybe a very sad feeling. And once you learn how to cry consciously, intentionally and consciously, and you let it out, it can give you all kinds of empowerment. Emotional intelligence helps you to identify your emotions more correctly so that we can do something about it. See, there's a very simple formula that you can think about. Before your body makes heightened heartbeat, higher breathing rate, sweating, flushing, nervous twitching, or any such symptoms, your brain has to send a message to the rest of the body. And your brain has to get impulses before it would tell the rest of your body to shoot out adrenals or cortisol or many other hormones. And so the nervous system is influenced. So when your brain shoots out these adrenals, making stress, so to speak, making anxiety, what happens is that the impulse comes from your limbic brain. Would you please touch the back of your head for me and say, this is my limbic brain. So when you react fastly like this, you can barely talk, or you begin to shout, or you begin to have this physiological response, something happened first from your brain to make your limbic brain shoot out adrenals. That limbic brain is just like the animal. See, the animal, if somebody walks into the territory, is supposed to go, or the animal will just, kill another animal for survival, hunting. That's what adrenals are meant for, called fight and flight. But you are not supposed to have heightened heartbeat often. You're not supposed to have irregular stress or an anxiety that is reoccurring. we humans are supposed to handle our emotions because we have the neocortex. Would you please now touch this front lobe of your brain and say, "This is my neocortex. This is my neocortex." And our language, our reasoning, our ability to recognize, our ability to handle emotions comes from how we use our neocortex and altogether how we talk to ourselves. Let me ask you something else. So you may be aware of negative beliefs that swirl around in you. You are saying to yourself, "I can't do it," or you say to yourself, "This is too much," or you say to yourself, "What injustice, what fairness." And then you actually have that physiological response. Or in emotional intelligence, we say, when you are good at making yourself worry and anxiety, it means you are good at making negative pictures of the future. Making up the worst case scenario. You know about this? So if you make a picture of something threatening, all your brain knows to do again is respond from the limbic brain and pump out adrenals. What you're supposed to do is take a step back and think about, how can I be more in control? How can I handle more consciously my emotions? Because you can. You can learn how to handle all these processes more consciously inside of you. For example, if you say to yourself, "I can't do this, this is possible," and it creates a form of stress or anxiety, go back and revise this dialogue and say to yourself, "I can. It is possible." Maybe I can just allow something new. Stepping back and reflecting on your responses is a very big part of becoming more emotional intelligent. And pardon me, I'm not saying that you are expected to have greater emotional intelligence or a greater EQ. Emotional intelligence is measured in certain ways, in a way that you can find out about your EQ. I don't mean that you should already have it. I just mean to challenge you a little bit, because you already know many times and situations when you can be very resourceful. You even know situations where others can't be resourceful, but you are very resourceful. Emotional intelligence gives you a big bag of tools to navigate the realm of triggers, to navigate the realm of being affected, to navigate the realm of being more protected, and to respond more the way that you want. We so easily go into these emotions that are more or less threatening to us, or that disturb our well-being. However, it is much more intelligent to think about the emotions that you want to feel more. When you learn emotional intelligence, you will get lots of different structures and encouragements to increase this internal emotional consciousness. Think of some emotions that you would like to feel more. In the Emotional Intelligence Workshop, it is called the Rainbow of Emotions. You'll get to sit down and design the emotions that help you more. For example, ease. For example, relaxation. For example, simply go into your heart and smile with more compassion. Maybe in your rainbow of emotions, you may design satisfaction, contentment. Of course, everybody wants greater happiness. Everybody wants greater joy. And there's emotions even stronger than that, like bliss, or very high forms of what we call love. And all of this is available inside of you, and it can be honed. It can be practiced. Emotional intelligence is nothing that we are born with. It is something to practice continuously, again and again. I am teaching emotional intelligence for more than 30 years, and I can only say I am still practicing. Now I can proudly announce to you that I am, for the greatest percentage of possibility, able to handle my emotions, to identify them early, and to do something about it. Emotional intelligence is what helps you personally in your relationship, first with yourself, then your relationships with others, may it be in your immediate environment of the significant others, and of course also professionally. In the last years of my corporate trainings, I have been mainly asked to do 2 days of emotional intelligence for corporate groups in order to more successfully circumvent processes like backstabbing or gossiping or arguing. Because everybody knows, and particularly leaders, that it is such a drainage of time, such a waste of energy. When we get lost in our arguments, or when we get lost in accusation, or when we get lost in the thinking, I'm right, you are wrong. It's ridiculous. Emotional intelligence is centered in the heart. Emotional intelligence teaches you more how you can rest within your heart and respond from your heart. We do a fun technique. It is called emotion yoga. You learn how to consciously step in and step out of emotions. We step into an emotion, and guess what? Whether it's a positive emotion or a challenging emotion. And we simply learn to be in that emotion and at the same time be conscious. Because it is not about never experiencing anger. Don't even try. It's not about eliminating feeling sad. You won't manage. It's about how to be more conscious when these processes begin and to just deal with them in another way. Sometimes we just need to give ourselves some little time for poor me, or now